Hey guys, I want to welcome you actually to a Facebook Live this morning. I'm actually with two of my friends. I'm with Shayne McAnalley and Barbie McAnalley. I'm with his wife. These guys right here are completely awesome guys. They're gonna share your story with them. They're not like in network marketing. They actually own a network marketing company, and we're gonna talk a little bit about their company, why they decided to actually start a company in the network marketing industry, and what makes their product very unique and different from anything else out in the marketplace. So, if you want to start it off, Dr. Shayne McAnalley, you can start it off.
All right, so you listed a lot of stuff. How would you like to start this?
Let's start by telling them a little bit about your background and your story, and then we'll kick it over to Barbie and we'll have her share her story and her background.
All right, so my background. I, long time ago, thought I wanted to be a anesthesiologist like my uncle. And so I did everything in my power to get there. Went to college, got a chemistry degree, ended up going to medical school. Um, Make this a short story about that. I got all the way through to where I did a rotation in anesthesiology, and I had never been more bored in my entire life. So I thank God that I did that rotation and completely changed the direction I was going. Thought about doing derm, really enjoyed derm, but what happened was is I was forced to take a year between medical school and my internship. And during that time, it was actually the second time I got to work with my dad. A year forced on me. I guess somebody was trying to tell me something a long time ago. I went and worked with my dad in what we currently do now, and that's a couple of things. One thing, we make medical and dental devices, which Barbie really works a lot in, and that's a lot of fun. And then the other thing we do is we have a supplement company, and it's really interesting. And I wanted to bring this up. I'll mention it now. We can come back to it after Barbie talks for a second. Um, but our two major businesses that we have are hugely different models. And why I say that is I hear a lot of time people, they come with these, preconceived ideas. They're like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like network marketing, or I don't like franchises, or whatever it happens to be. And the reason I say that is the appropriate business model is appropriate for different situations. In other words, it's not one size fits all. And so, like with our dental devices, that's more of a standard business model where we have reps all over the country. Well, actually, kind of cover the world with that. Um, but they do their thing, and we manufacture the stuff. They sell it. We pay them a commission. Standard business model type thing. And then with our supplements, one thing we do with those in particular is we don't do stuff that you can go find elsewhere. Like, there's a lot of companies out there that sell the exact same thing, and that's great. There's a significant place for that. People get their story out there, various different things. But the reason why we picked network marketing for our supplements is we create new categories. That's probably the best way to say that. And uh, if you do something like that, nobody knows about it. So you can't refer to other things. Like if you're, I don't know, selling a new car, like look at Tesla. That's easy to sell. Oh, it's just like a car that you drive right now, but it runs on a battery. Oh, I get that. Everybody knows that. That's completely different than when they tried to sell a car for the first time. And so that's why we picked that model to do that. But we'll come back to that in a minute. So I'll let Barbie introduce herself right now. And I picked a terrible time as she picked up her coffee. So I'll talk just a little bit longer and give her a second to swallow that. So, all right, here's Barbie.
Okay, hi. I think I'm looking in the right spot. So
You are.
weird for me. Okay, so I'm Barbie. My background is I'm a nurse. I went to UTA, University of Texas in Arlington. I worked in cardiology for about 5 years, and then I worked in an oral surgery office for about 5 years. So I've done bedside patient care, done patient care, which I really, really enjoyed. I think nurses just in general just like drama, so I liked it. I liked it for a long time actually, but I miss it sometimes. But I'm certain that I gained back a few years of my life, just not working 13-hour shifts and, always wondering if someone's going to pull out their pick line or whatnot on accident. It's just pretty stressful. So when this opportunity came up, it was great. And it's been really, really great getting to work from anywhere, actually, especially right now in this craziness that we all are living in. It's been really awesome. People will ask me, are you able to work from home? Well, I've been able to work from home for a long time. So it's been really, really great. Getting to work with family and friends has been really good. And it's actually, I don't even really look at it as work for the most part. A lot of times we're just hanging out, even right now virtually, but still really great getting to do that. With the medical devices on that side, it's different because we're dealing with offices and clinics, but still getting to help clinicians and hygienists and whatnot, just doing stuff virtually, which is really, really good. So we're still helping out people, helping out patients just in a different way. So it's been really, really good.
That's
All
cool.
right.
I mean, that's awesome, guys. And like I said, like Dr. McAnalley shared his background is he's an MD, and Barbie is a nurse. I mean, both of them come from the medical field, but they decided to actually start a network marketing company. I know Barbie, you can tell us a little bit about the medical device that you actually market, you and Dr. Hall.
Mhm.
For the mouth. I know you guys deal with a lot of dentists and stuff like that, and that's a separate part of the company, guys. That's a whole different company. What I want you guys to understand about these two, they don't actually want to run a network marketing company. They run multiple businesses. They run businesses outside of network marketing. But one of my biggest things that I really like about them that they're so passionate about what they're doing because I always work with Shayne. He could have easily went a whole nother direction because they got successful businesses already generating tons of money, but he chose to actually bring a certain product, a certain supplement to the marketplace through network marketing. And one of the things that I've had the conversation with him about several times is, the main reason why is you can get stuff in the marketplace faster, but also he wanted to give people like myself and others the opportunity to generate an extra like part-time or full-time income. So I know I kind of went off like that, but we'll go back to you a little bit, Barbie. Tell us a little bit about the medical devices that you actually market and you and Dr. Hall work together.
Okay, so our medical devices, we have a few products actually that we really are focused on the I guess the dental world, as you can say. Our products are sold and purchased through dental professionals. And then one of our products is actually really geared towards patients undergoing chemo and radiation. They're all natural products, which makes them super safe for any age. Actually, our 8 and 6 year old have used the products for since they were
Born.
worn. Yeah. So the products are super safe, which makes that really, really cool. Any of my friends that either hop on here or see this, I'm pretty sure can talk about just how awesome they are. I mean, just being able to use them, not having to, you don't need a prescription or anything like that. So the biggest thing for me is the medical devices that we do manufacture are really, really safe, like I said, for any age group. But they really help with a lot of times I feel like, I mean, when Shayne mentioned a product for the mouth, I was like, no thanks. I work like here. And I knew that from nursing school. I was like, I don't want to work anywhere from like the waist below or head up. I just thought mouth and feet were pretty gross. But anyway, I learned a lot. The oral surgery practice I worked in, I had some amazing mentors there, and I've learned a lot. And so the mouth is a really big deal. Our medical devices are primarily for the mouth and throat, and it's really hard to do a lot when your mouth is hurting or you just can't function right. So, you want me to talk more about the medical
Well,
devices, like what they are
the only thing I'd
specifically?
add to it is like all the silliness that you see all the time. You go to the dental section in the grocery store, or whatever, and everything in there says "don't swallow."
Right,
And so that's
like
what's significant about ours being not only all natural, it's all food.
right. So literally, yeah, it's wild. You can pick up a mouthwash or toothpaste, and the label says "do not intended to be swallowed," which is kind of strange, I guess. Our products are absolutely 100% approved by the FDA to be swallowed. which kind of makes sense. If you're trying to treat something in your mouth or your throat, you should probably be able to swallow it, which makes our products really unique. People will ask often, "Oh, what makes it different?" Or can I just go get bar gel like off the shelf? You can, but make sure you don't swallow it, and you're probably gonna be numb and you'll bite yourself and not know. But our products are really, really cool in the fact that they can be swallowed. They don't stain your teeth for people who worry about that because it's kind of a big deal. Um, but yeah, and like I said, safe for kids, safe for people that are pregnant, safe for people that are 90. Anybody can use our products, which makes them really, really awesome. So.
Yeah, something like I said, it's completely unique to what you find elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're gonna go back to we're gonna go back to Dr. Shayne, and let's talk about the network marketing part. It's kind of hard for myself too because when I do these, I really try not to mention the company's name, and it's crazy because what I want you guys to know, I actually work with both of these guys, and the one thing I can say about Dr. Shayne McAnalley is that he's truly a people person. Him and Barbie both. They truly have a passion for helping people. I know sometimes I call him and I get on his nerves, and I call him and say something crazy, but the majority of the time when I call him, if I'm serious and I tell him that I need something, he really goes out of his way to make sure that the people in the field actually have what they need to actually build a successful business. So, Dr. Shayne McAnalley, I know the product is 100% plant-based. So, and I know you guys manufacture the product, yourself. You got your own manufacturer and stuff like that. Kind of explain to why did y'all go that way? Why y'all didn't let somebody else manufacture the products?
Well, Troy, that's a really, really interesting question that a lot of people have a hard time with the answer to. But it all starts back from previous experiences. Like I said, we make stuff that creates new categories. Let's call it that. So one of the ones that we did a long time ago, I'm talking like 20 years ago was when this one started. It really, really, really took off, and it was one of the ones Dad was involved with, the inventor, if you want to call it that, or discoverer. That I was able to go work with and help develop more stuff with. Like I say, let's go 20 years ago. And one of the biggest problems that they ran into is the manufacturers were doing things that, and let's say they didn't really think anything of it, but they would substitute stuff, or they would go and find an ingredient that was way cheaper than what they were already paying. And to them, it was just like, I don't know, like a lot of people, they go to the grocery store and they need, some bread. Well, which one's the cheapest? That's the one they get. There's not really much difference. Well, when you're looking at nutrition and stuff, if you don't get the raw materials processed correctly and stored correctly, they become almost worthless most of the time. And so if you're a manufacturer and all you're trying to do is increase your profit margin, well, it makes sense. Let's go find this one. It's cheaper. But what would happen is the products would stop working. And that was a major, major problem. And of course, there are some other things there with various manufacturers that, probably were on purpose, but we'll leave those out, not to point any fingers. But to make that long story short, the reason we decided to do it ourselves is we could completely make it to where we didn't have to worry about that. We know when we make our products ourselves, we test them multiple times, and we call it our own standard. I'm not going to drop the company name, but company name standard, which is way above the standard, industry standard, and it's on purpose. So we tested all those times to make sure what we put into our capsules is exactly what we want in them. That way, we hopefully never have to deal with I used to take this stuff and it worked really well and doesn't seem to work anymore. And if that's the case, it'd be a surprise to us because all the testing we do to make sure exactly what's in there is what's in there. And you keep going further with it. You mentioned hand filled. Well, that was for a couple of reasons. One, we didn't want to put any fillers or flowing agents or anything in there. We only wanted 100% what we want in those capsules. And the only way for us to do that effectively is to fill those capsules by hand. And it's actually a really quick process. It's kind of some trade secrets we've got in there going, so I won't divulge those. But, it's not as labor intensive as a lot of people think. but it's a nice balance. Maybe it's a little slower than if we had them filled by a machine, but we guarantee you the highest quality product that we can get you. And some of the metrics out there, if you look at it, a hand-filled capsule is going to have the same amount of what you want in it as if you had 5 to 15 capsules that were filled by a machine, if that makes sense. So in other words, if you're supposed to take 1 capsule a day of the hand-filled stuff, to get the same amount, you're going to have 5 to 15. And so that's just kind of ridiculous there as well. The other thing it really does is it has helped us. It's a nice, I'd like to say it was by plan, but it wasn't. It was more of a byproduct. But it enabled us to give people jobs right here in the United States. And we also export some of this stuff to Japan in particular. And we're working on other countries, of course, but it's really nice. It's nice to help people with their health, help people with their wealth. And that's a whole nother thing when you get to MLM. But you ask about the products right now. So I'll stop with that and let you ask whatever else you want to ask.
Well, That's where I was going. Like I said, both of you guys are very successful outside of MLM. Why? I mean, I know the answer, but maybe Shane, you could start, and then Barbie maybe can give her input. Why did you guys choose network marketing to actually market these products? Because I mean, just knowing you guys personally, I know you got contacts even in the network marketing industry. Just from what you guys did in the past, you easily could have actually took these products and shared them with somebody else, another company that already had maybe a million actually distributors, and said, "Hey, we want a percentage of this for the next 20 years because the products are fit to be patented." So, why did y'all decide to start your own network marketing?
Man, that's a big question too, Troy. There's a lot of reasons for that. One of them is the reason I just gave you about the product quality. We wanted to make sure, first and foremost, that we are giving you the absolute best product that we possibly can. The next piece of that is when companies typically start, I'm going to say as they grow, I'm not even going to say as they get bigger, like, people think of these massive companies, but, just start growing a little bit. People start getting, let's just say, certain ideas about the way they think things should be. And a lot of it starts falling into the same thing I just talked about with the products from the manufacturer's side. And they start trying to make just an extra buck. And when you do that, say you make an extra, I don't know, let's just say $1 a bottle by doing something that's very short term, you run into problems, huge problems long term. So one of the things we wanted to do is maintain that control where our priorities will always stay the same. And we can make sure that our product quality is amazing. And, I said the product's the most important, but this one's just as important. Let's call them 1A and 1B. 1B is making sure that our wellness partners, our guys, that's what we call our guys that are in the field, that they always are well taken care of. And that's another thing that you'll see in other businesses. Again, they'll take a buck here and there, and that's what it's about, Troy, right? I mean, most people, you can look at various studies, and it's not a lot of money that makes a huge difference in their life. And I would much rather make sure that that is our objective and stays our objective, instead of having some, one guy that just makes an absolute fortune and everybody else, is kind of struggling still. And what I'm talking about? I'm talking about not very much, like, $300 a month. I mean, that makes a huge difference in most people's lives. And, if you scoff at that, good for you, you're doing pretty well. But for most people, $300 is a huge difference, and those are certain reasons why we did it. And there's more there. I'm probably talking too much, so I'm going to throw it back at you and let you redirect it the way you want it to go.
No, I mean, you're not talking. You're hitting all the points, Dr. McAnalley, Shane. And one of the things I could say, because I'm a part of the company, is that, when I look at network marketing, and I've been doing it for 17 years, I always ask the question, can the little person win? Just like you just stated, can the person that only want to make $300 a month or $500 or $1,000 a month, can they win? And one of the things that I think is really genius, what you guys did is, if a person get a handful of customers, it's easy for them to get to $300 a month. When a lot of people look at network marketing, they think that, man, I got to go recruit some people, or I got to put a lot of people in to make $1,000 a month. Now, the way you guys have structured it is, if a person go get like 10 or 11 customers, they already have $300 a month. You guys
Mhm.
got people that's a part of your company that's generating thousands of dollars a month that don't even have one wellness partner or one business partner. So, I mean, that's amazing to itself. And then you got it structured where, tell us a little bit about the top of the company. You know, what's the
The
position at
top,
the,
you said?
tell us a little bit about the position at the top of the company.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So what we did, because that's another thing I would always hear, and like I started this whole thing out saying, is different business models are right for different situations. And one of the biggest um, hurdles that I always have to get over when I'm talking to people about network marketing is they have this, you know, idea in their head that the guy at the top makes the most money. And that's just not true, for one. But to help get rid of that whole idea, we made the top position in our company a position that donates to charities. And that charity that it donates to is directly influenced by our wellness partners. And so if we have a guy, a wellness partner that works, really hard and is doing a lot, and they say, "Hey, I'd really like to see something go towards this particular thing," that's what we do. And the other thing with that is we did not tie ourselves to one company, so we do have the flexibility there. Like, when a lot of hurricanes hit, we've sent stuff that direction. We always do something with the military. We've done stuff to help with companies that rescue people who are involved in
Human trafficking.
human trafficking. Yeah. What else have we dealt with that recently? Some specific cases around the world with different organizations with people whose nutrition is just shot. And it's obvious if you think about it. If you improve somebody's situation nutritionally, they should do better. And what I mean by that is these people went from where, they weren't going to function because they needed some sort of surgery, but their nutritional status was not good enough to where they could have that surgery. So that's the goal there, right? It's not some, magic cure to where all of a sudden they don't need this surgery anymore. I mean, you get them to where they can get the process that they need. And in a lot of these cases, they are surgeries like cleft palates and stuff to where they couldn't eat, and they get the surgery fixed and now they can. So their life is totally different. And then we go from there to supporting like the veterans, like I said, and then the organization she mentioned, and that's more with money specifically instead of supplying with products to help with the nutrition. But that's also really helped get people past that whole, oh, the guy at the top makes all the money. Because in my opinion, when someone told me that was a bad idea, I said, well, if someone has a problem with a company giving money to charity, I have a problem with that person. I don't really want to deal with them anyway, so they can just, go on down the road somewhere else.
And most of the time, Shane, people don't understand it anyway. It's the person that does the most work to make all the money.
That's right.
I mean, it's called network marketing. You gotta work. If you don't work, you don't get nothing.
You got to work hard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. And what makes you guys company so unique is that you truly have a product that works. Something that's really helping people health wise, and you have a compensation plan that works too. That's powerful within itself. So, hey, if you got one tip, like the saying, and we'll let Barbie talk too, but we'll let you go first. Why? Why should a person really consider your company?
Well, for the reasons we've already gave is massive, and I do, I'd love for you to join our company because I do think it's the best one. Otherwise, I'm doing something wrong. But I want to generalize it a little bit, and especially with things that are happening right now. If you don't have a side gig, a side hustle, whatever the world you want to call it, a second job, get one. Because I mean, just look around and listen to what's happening. We're not only in the middle of this whole pandemic thing, but we're also entering flu season. So if you don't have some way to where you can have a second income in case something happens to your first income, go find one. And the best ones to do, in my opinion, is multi-level marketing because it's such a low cost of entry. I mean, it's almost nothing. Like ours, you can get in for 49 bucks. I mean, if you're going to go mow lawns, which, this time of year is probably not a good plan. If you're thinking about starting to mow lawns right now, think about something differently. A lot more going to cost a lot more than that. So multi-level marketing is a very low cost of entry. All the tools you need are there for you to do what you need to do. And like you said, Troy, it's not the guy at the top, it's who works the hardest. And like you yourself, you're constantly working with the people you bring in and that your people bring in to help them get, as quickly as possible to $300 a month. However that works for them. If they are a big business builder and like a recruiting people, that's awesome. If they're a big customer type person, which, if you're a real business, you have to have customers, and that's, one of the big deals right there. Then, network marketing still allows for that, or should. At least ours does, like you said. Our compensation plan rewards you both ways. So, you know, find a company out there that does like that. Like Troy said, if you can't make money without signing people up, look somewhere else, guys, because that's what gets in most people's way. So that's what I have to say about that, Troy.
All right, you got anything to add to that, Marty?
I was just gonna say from a perspective of a girl, because I have a lot of friends, of course, and we all do, that are in a multi-level marketing business of some sort, whether it's essential oils, which we love, whether it's makeup, which we love, whether it's clothes. I mean, nowadays I feel like you can I mean, what you'd like, what you want through a multi-level marketing business. But I do love that our company doesn't require you to keep like a big stock of anything. So you don't have to worry about, oh no, what am I going to do if I have 6 months worth of this and then I have to offload it or whatnot. So I think that's kind of a big deal. I've had friends that have done some companies where they're required to keep a huge stock of whatever it might be, whatever the product is. And if your product's great, sometimes that's okay, and that's not a bad thing either. But it is, I think, a plus. With two kiddos and a dog, I mean, we have enough stuff going on here. Whether it's the kids are building a fort, or whether we're throwing dog toys around the house or whatever.
What's their coffee shop? Zombucks.
Yeah, I feel like we have, and I'm guilty too. I just have stuff. I mean, we have so much stuff with all of our books behind us. But I think it's awesome that we don't require you to have a huge stock of anything, actually, which is, I think, that for me, that's a big part of it, which is a plus. It's a really good thing. But just altogether, I mean, I think our products are really beneficial. Even if you don't have kids or you don't have a family and it's just you. I mean, especially nowadays, you just want to be as healthy as you can be. And I feel like there's definitely a shift. When I was in my 20s, I was probably not thinking about insurance and medical or health issues. I was certainly actually not thinking about that. But even some people, don't think about that in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s until something happens. And then sometimes it's hard to backpedal and to go back and say, oh no, I should have, maybe I should have eaten a little better. I should have worked out a little more. I should have done this or that. But I do think our products really help get you where you need to be, no matter what age or what level you're at. And so it's a great company. I mean, just because try the products, take them, see how you feel, and it makes it really easy to just when you're talking to whoever you're talking to, people say, oh wow, or I'm feeling really good or whatnot. And I think we hear that a lot, especially I listen to podcasts and whatnot, and it seems like every other ad is talking about some sort of something that you need, whether it's a sleep app or whatever, which I think is good. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that can really help you health wise. I just think sometimes we get off track as far as, or that's just not at the front of what we're thinking. Nowadays, of course, you're trying not to touch the grocery basket if you don't need to. Try not to touch the gas pump. When, I mean, things haven't changed. Kids have always licked the booths at the restaurant and done all that kind of stuff. And adults are nasty too, But with that being said, it's kind of nice if you know that you're doing what you can for your body, for yourself. I feel like you can be a little more confident, getting out and about. I'm not saying right now is the time, of course, to be getting out and about as much as you can, but I think, yeah, I just think altogether it's something good to have, and you don't have to have a big warehouse and have to stack it all, and you don't have to, start brand new, like, oh no, how am I going to start this business? Everybody on the team or with our family is just really awesome. I feel like with helping you get set up with whatever you're doing. I mean, Troy, I know. Oh, well, also you can work at any time. I'm definitely a night owl, so I'll be watching my Netflix or whatever, it doesn't matter if somebody, sends a message at 2 o'clock in the morning, literally, like with our other products, with our medical devices, saying, "Hey, I'm located in Virginia and I'm having, all my teeth extracted. I need some help." But what's cool is we can work anytime.
Like last night, you were on the phone for 2.5 hours with a couple of people helping them out with stuff. They were trying to get their Facebook going, and she was helping them out with that.
Yeah, and I was having a margarita at the same time because it's not like I had to drive anywhere, so that's really great. But yeah, it's just really good because you can do it, do the business from wherever, whenever. I mean, even I've been at the zoo with the kids and working at the same time, which is really cool. Or even doing like laser tag and working at the same time. So it's just really, it's nice to have something we can do like that. So.
And I mean, that's powerful within itself, guys. And what I want you guys to know, why I love what we do so much with this company is these guys are touchable. If you actually send Barbie a message on Facebook, she actually will respond to it. You send Shayne a message on Facebook, he'll respond to it. If you guys not following these guys on Facebook, send them a friend request. And if you actually looking for opportunity, opportunity that has a real product that's really gonna help people and have an impact on their health, this is the company, I feel. And also, if you're looking for something where maybe you just want to make $300 a month and you having that pressure about, like, I don't want to have to go out and recruit people. I talk to people every day. I was actually on the phone with a lady the other day, and that was her main concern. I've tried different companies. All of them, you got to bring people in. And I told her, not this one, you can actually get a handful of customers. I can show you how to make $300, $600. Just because this is the company, guys. Like I said, reach out to these guys. They are amazing. They are down to earth. Most companies, I tell people all the time, most companies that you get involved in, you can never have access to the owner. One thing I can say about this company, you got access to the owners, guys. With that, I want to thank both of you guys, Barbie and Shayne, for actually taking the time out of your morning and doing this for me. And you got any closing remarks?
Oh man, just go out there and do something. Don't wait on it to come to you. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Work hard.
Yeah, there's never going to be the right time, I feel like. I mean, or the perfect time. I should say the perfect time. I don't think there's ever the perfect time. My sister's actually, my older sister got in the business. I say the business. It's weird for me sometimes even to say business because I don't look at it as like, oh, I'm going to work or doing business. But my sister started really getting in with what we're doing, and it's been exciting even to see her. I mean, for those of you who know Chrissy, you can reach out to her. I really feel like it's made an impact on her in literally a matter of weeks. I mean, it's pretty impressive. So it's just exciting. It's really good. So reach out. Yeah.
All right, guys. Y'all guys have a great morning, and God bless. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Troy.